Prime Netero versus Meruem. Who are you taking in the 1v1? And shout out to Miles for the support. All right, so first things first, let's take a look at the fight that we actually got to see, which was Old Man Netero versus Meruem. And I don't think anyone would argue that Netero was getting the better of Meruem in this fight, but you could argue that he won, and that's because of Poor Man's Rose. Now, obviously, Meruem did ultimately come back from that, but only because he had a bunch of help from the Royal Guards, right? So you could call this a draw, maybe. But again, that's because Netero used the Poor Man's Rose, and we're not going to actually give him credit for that when it comes to like a 1v1 matchup. So Prime Netero will not have the Poor Man's Rose in his arsenal. I just wanted to get that out of the way off rip. We're talking about who could win 1v1 of their own merit. So like I mentioned, Old Man Netero stood absolutely no chance against Meruem. He was outclassed in almost every single way, and I would hope that I wouldn't need to argue that, but just in case I do, here's a couple of quick points. First, we know that Meruem was hit thousands of times with the Guanyin Bodhisattva, and it basically amounted to nothing. He only barely started to feel a dull internal ache after that many hits. And then beyond that, when Old Man Netero poured every single thing he had into his final zero-hand attack, it basically didn't do anything. Yeah, he's a little bit scuffed here, but completely fine. Netero says not even zero. Not even my strongest attack could do anything to him. And oh yeah, during this whole fight, Meruem was severely handicapped. So while Netero was going all out, doing everything he could to take out Meruem, Meruem was doing everything he could to spare Netero. If you recall, he didn't want to fight. He just wanted to talk. But Netero eventually got him to do it in exchange for telling him his name. But because he couldn't lethally attack Netero, he said he was basically playing without a rook and a bishop. So this was not even Meruem trying. All that to say, Prime Netero is going to have to be exponentially stronger than Old Man Netero to even stand a chance here. So just how much stronger would he actually be? And obviously, there's nothing definitive we can point to classify like his exact strength and determine how that matchup would go. But personally, I don't think he could possibly be strong enough to really make me comfortable saying, oh yeah, he beats Meruem, because Meruem was just such a different level of strength. But that being said, I do think Prime Netero is leagues above Old Man Netero. He himself tells us that he hasn't been one of the top 5 nin users in over 50 years, right? And beyond that, I'm pretty sure there's a statement where he roughly estimates he's about half as powerful as he once was. So again, you know, I'm not the type to get into the weeds on the power scaling of what like a 2x Old Man Netero would really look like. Could that make a difference in the fight? I think certainly, but I think even on Prime Netero's best day, that's going to be an extreme diff fight for him. And just from what we've seen all around, I got to give the edge to Meruem. He wasn't even trying in that first fight, right? Narratively, the type of antagonist Togashi was creating in Meruem was a god. So here's how I would ultimately break this down. Could Prime Netero defeat Meruem? I would say yes, he has a statistical chance to get one over on him because he's going to be much more powerful. His attacks are going to be doing that much more damage, and they're also going to be that much faster. So between all of those things, and especially the gap in their experience, because obviously Netero is a far more experienced nin user, all of those things combined, he has a chance. He could theoretically win. But would Prime Netero win? No, I don't think so. I'm giving it to Meruem. So I hope that makes sense, and that's a fair enough answer. So anyways, those are my thoughts on the matchup. Be sure to let me know yours down in the comments below. And I also took the liberty of asking the community. And as you can see here, Meruem did win with about 2/3 of the vote compared to Netero's 1/3, which checks out to me. It's about what I expected. But as always, y'all, thank you for watching.